What is going on YouTube? It is your boy Freakeasy Gaming, and in today's video we are going to talk about why is Vault-Tec evil in Fallout 4. And what I mean by evil is why did Vault-Tec decide to perform experiments on people who entered the vaults. Now, as we could tell here, the Vault-Tec is not a US military owned or a US government owned basically company. Vault-Tec is its own private company. As we could see here, Vault-Tec has its own security, along with its own little gated area. It also has its own uniforms, along with its own boxes and its own supplies. And it has its own vehicles too. As we could see over there, there's actually a Vault-Tec vehicle. And obviously, well, Vault-Tec owns the vaults, because as we could see right there, it says Vault 111. Now, we're going to let the nuclear blast come over here. We're going to go down, and we're going to talk about a little more why Vault-Tec is evil. Alright guys, now that we have entered the vault, we could sort of talk a little more on basically why Vault-Tec is evil. Now, again, you know, Vault-Tec sort of performed experiments on people. If you guys don't know, there is a vault in the game called Vault 95, where Vault-Tec basically took a bunch of people, a bunch of drug addicts more specifically, and put them into a vault with only drugs in it, with a lot of drugs in it, and basically all those drug addicts wind up overdosing inside that vault. And as we could see here, Vault-Tec Corporation, now a corporation obviously is its own sort of entity, and it's not owned by the US government or the US military. As we could tell here, once again, it says Vault-Tec Corporation. Now, that's really crazy. Because as we could tell, there's no US military soldiers as we seen outside. Basically, there was one US military soldier standing guard, and there was a couple of Brotherhood of Steel members out there in the front, sort of in the beginning. And the only thing in here is basically privately owned Vault-Tec security. As we can tell here, they have their own weapons, they have their own everything, they have their own armor. And if we keep on coming this way, Vault-Tec sort of straight lies to us. Basically, Vault-Tec lies to you in the beginning of Fallout 4, basically telling you these are decontamination and depressurization pods, basically so they could take you deeper into the vault underground to help you. Now, obviously, this is not the truth. As we all know, this winds up being a cryopod.
And depressurize you before we head deep.
As you could tell, I just wanted you guys to hear that real quick. It said, as you can see, it said the pod will decontaminize you and depressurize you so we could take you deeper into the vault. However, this does freeze us for about 200 years. Now, I don't know about you, but decontaminating someone and depressurizing them doesn't mean you're going to freeze them for 200 years, plus, basically, until, well, you need them to experiment on them and stuff like that. Or I was going to sort of introduce you to sort of a little theory right here, but, if you guys don't know, I wanted to give some more examples basically on why Vault-Tec is evil. Now, a couple more examples are Vault 81 in the game. Basically, it was a vault built around a vault, sort of watching that vault, if that makes any sense. Basically, it was a vault watching a vault, sort of Vaultception, which is really weird. And the people who reside in Vault 81 had no clue that there was another vault actually watching them, experimenting on them, and performing experiments on of their own, basically trying to experiment on the people inside Vault 81. I know that sounds a little bit confusing, sort of like Vault Inception, I guess, but yeah, I just wanted to give you guys one more example before we sort of move on to the next part. And what the next part is that in sense, Vault-Tec is a privately owned company, and in sense, they can't just experiment on you for no reason, even though you enter their property. Here is the reason why they basically can perform experiments on people. Now, in the beginning of the game, basically everybody who gets into the vault, obviously except for the Vault-Tec people, need to fill out some sort of paperwork, and that paperwork is shown here in Fallout 4. As we could see here is the paperwork. If we look up at the top, it doesn't say special skills, it doesn't say special book, it says registration form. And now it says, if you look in the bottom right hand corner, it says, tell us about yourself. Vault-Tec needs to know what kind of citizen you are to ensure your future happiness. Now, obviously, if we look here just at this key text, it says Vault-Tec needs to know what kind of citizen you are to ensure, quote, your future happiness. Now, why would they want to ensure your future happiness if the bombs or the atomic annihilation hasn't occurred yet, unless Vault-Tec had something to do with causing the atomic bombs to drop in the Fallout series? Now, if we come here in this registration form, not only do we have to basically sign our name to it by entering our name, we also have to assign basically strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, and luck points. Obviously, that's just part of the game, but it says registration form basically makes you fill out information as you would in real life. Like if you were registering a product, you know, they sort of ask you, and then they also ask you basically to agree to terms and conditions, and that's sort of hidden probably within the registration form like it is in real life. You know, when you fill out a registration form like for a warranty or something like that, or when you purchase a big ticket item, like a store will sometimes make you sign a little card, and sort of on that card you could tell that there's terms and conditions, basically a bunch of stuff you need to agree to, and it's in really small letters, and that's what I think Vault-Tec did here. So Vault-Tec is sort of protected. I guess you could say they're not evil because you sort of signed your name over to them, saying, most likely stating that in the event of a nuclear catastrophe, Vault-Tec could experiment on you as long as you resided inside the vault. And that's what they did. I think Vault-Tec is a evil corporation. However, they did it sort of in a legal manner by making you fill out some paperwork. I mean, if that makes any sense. I mean, in real life it would make sense because, you know, some stuff does happen like this in real life. Obviously not on a nuclear disaster scale, but sometimes big corporations do screw over small little guys. Anyways, I hope you did enjoy the video on why Vault-Tec is evil. If you did, please drop that like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help the channel grow. You know, I would really appreciate it if you guys did drop that like, comment, and subscribe. Help my channel grow. I am trying to make my way on YouTube, so help me out by, you know, subscribing and sharing my videos. I'd really appreciate it. It'd really make my day. Anyways, it's been your boy Freaky Gaming. I love each and every single one of you. I will see you guys right back here tomorrow, and remember, stay freaky.